Hi, it's Panda Movies here. Today, I'm going to explain the movie called Sunshine. Warning, there are spoilers ahead. Enjoy the video. The sun is dying in 2057 and the earth is freezing. On board the spaceship Icarus II, 8 multinational astronauts operate a massive stellar bomb with the goal of jump-starting the sun and subsequently returning to Earth. Icarus II picks up the distress beacon of Icarus I, the first spacecraft to try a comparable voyage, which vanished 7 years ago as they blasted past Mercury. Because of the ship's proximity to Mercury, its messages were unable to reach Earth, but Icarus II was able to intercept them. Capa, the ship's physicist, advises Kaneda, the captain, to reverse course and commandeer Icarus I, claiming that 2 cargoes have a better chance of succeeding than 1. Mace, the ship's engineer, opposes the deviation as dangerous. Navigator Trey calculates and executes a course to intercept Icarus I, but forgets to realign the sun-protecting shields, resulting in damage to 4 shield panels that, if not repaired, could destroy the ship and kill the crew. Kaneda and Capa go on a spacewalk to repair the shield, with Cassie assisting them by angling the damaged piece of the shield away from the sun. As planned, 2 projecting communications towers are destroyed, however, reflected light also destroys the ship's oxygen garden and oxygen stores, much to the delight of botanist Corazon. Kaneda orders Capa to retreat to safety as Icarus I's autopilot restores the shield's original alignment, but he is burned to death moments later. Trey can't cope with Kaneda's death, so the ship's psychiatrist, Searle, diagnoses him as a suicide risk and sedates him, rendering him catatonic. Icarus II has no choice but to dock with Icarus I due to a lack of oxygen to reach the release site for its explosive payload. Capa, Searle, Mace, and communications officer Harvey, now the acting captain, search the vessel, leaving Cassie and Corazon on board Icarus II with Trey. They discover that the mainframe has been sabotaged, rendering delivery of the payload impossible, despite the ship systems being mostly operational, including a lush overgrown oxygen garden. The ship's record has a meandering note from Pinbacker, the captain, who has terrible burns on his face and has abandoned his mission. Mace deduces that the communication took place around the time the crew was supposed to deliver their payload, which was 6.5 years ago. The crew of the Icarus I has been discovered in the solar observation chamber, having been burnt to death by unfiltered exposure to the sun a long time ago. The 2 ships detach explosively, destroying Icarus I's outer airlock and leaving the 4 crew members stranded. Capa wears the spacesuit since he is the only crew member who can control the payload, while the others wrap themselves in recovered insulating material from the ship's walls and then jettison between airlocks, using the vacuum release for propulsion. Searle recognizes that one of them will have to stay behind to manually operate the airlock and offers himself as a volunteer. Capa, Harvey, and Mace are shot out into open space when Searle opens the airlock. Capa and Mace make it back to Icarus II after Harvey misses the airlock, freezes, and dies of asphyxiation. In the observation room, Searle, who has spent the mission obsessed with looking into the shielded sun, voluntarily exposes himself to its full, lethal force, killing himself in the process. Corazon calculates that just 4 of the 5 survivors have enough oxygen to reach the sun. Trey has already committed suicide, so the group reluctantly resolves to have Mace kill him. With the remaining crew relieved that they will at least make it to the sun, Capa is informed by Icarus that there is still not enough oxygen to complete the mission because an unknown 5th person is on board the ship. Capa investigates and discovers a deranged and disfigured Pinbacker, who is revealed to be the mastermind behind the airlock decoupling. Pinbacker wounds Capa and pursues him into the airlock, which he locks from his side. Before heading for Cassie, Pinbacker seals his side of the airlock to confine Capa, then murders Corazon and removes the 4 mainframes from their coolant baths, thus shutting down the ship's computer. Mace manually lowers 2 of the computers into the freezing coolant, but his leg becomes trapped on the 3rd descending mainframe and the computer system is incapacitated. He begs Capa to finish the mission as he freezes to death. Capa detonates the bomb and separates it from the spacecraft, which is being consumed by the sun. He then goes into the bomb, where he meets Cassie, but they are ambushed by Pinbacker, who claims he has spent the last 7 years conversing with God, the sun, and has been commanded to send all humanity to heaven. Capa eludes Pinbacker by ripping the skin off one of his arms as they hurtle into the sun. Capa is persuaded by Cassie to detonate the bomb, and he succeeds in reaching the controls. He watches as the bomb begins to ignite at the edge of the sun, killing Cassie and Pinbacker, unsure if it will work in these extreme conditions. Capa uses his final minutes to stretch out and touch the surface of the sun as time and space twist. Capa's sister and her children on Earth, near the icy Sydney harbor, listen to Capa's final message and see the sun's light begin to shine anew.